Valentine's Day, he found a
7.
Honey, quit that.
What?
Staring off into space. You know I can't sleep with you staring off into space.
Close your eyes. You won't know I'm awake.
Why are we even conscious? We dive out of a stolen airplane. We brave rapids. We hang from a helicopter. We steal a golf cart. We hike across half the world.
It's adrenaline. It's also this house. I want so much to know more about the family that lived here.
Maybe it was a whole series of families.
No. I have a very strong feeling that it was just one family over several years. Maybe even handed down from generation to generation. They put down roots. They passed on a life to their children. No high adventure. No round-the-world chases. Life began, and it ended. Could you ever see us doing that?
Settling down?
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Once the danger is finally over and it's in the past, could you ever be truly happy living in just one place? I want to see her.
Karen, she's in surgery. You can't.
Oh, God.
Monica's in with her. Monica's the best.
She's a cardiac surgeon. Did she have a heart attack?
Paramedics said that she'd been beaten.
Oh, no.
Where was she?
In her apartment. Karen, she's been through this kind of thing before. She will pull through.
Dad, how bad is it?
Well, let's not guess about this, shall we? I'll go into OR and check, and, well, let's not get too excited until we find out exactly what's going on.
Karen, she has Mom, she has Bobby, she has the best GH can offer going for her.
Okay, you want to get that over there, Phil? All right, we just have to get... All right. Yeah, see that? Okay, thank you. Oh. And sponge. That's it. Okay, we're in. Oh, God. Severe myocardial contusion. What a mess. Looks like her chest was hit with a battering ram. Vitals?
It's tachycardic. Blood pressure is 82/40.
All right, well, we've got to relieve this pressure on her heart. I'm going to open the pericardial sac.
Better hurry, your vitals are slipping.
Well, don't lose her.
Pressure's dropping, we're losing her, Doctor.
Sponge?
General Hospital. Brought to you by Huggies Ultra Trim Diapers, our best-fitting way to fight against leaks.
How long has it been?
Not as long as it seems. Steve will tell us something definitive as soon as he knows, Karen.
Karen. I'm so sorry. EMS told me your mom was brought in here.
She's in surgery.
Any word?
Nothing yet.
Hey, what happened over there?
We're not sure. My next stop is the apartment, but according to the EMS unit, Rhonda was unconscious and alone when they got there.
Then who called him?
Some unidentified man said that she was his girlfriend. Must have had a fight, then he took off.
It was Ray. Had to be Ray.
Okay, I'll get an APB out on him. Check the apartment for evidence, and I'll be back later. Make sure she's doing okay, okay?
Thank you.
Just hang in. Well, Sean, don't go yet.
Wait, Dr. Hardy, what's happening?
Your mother suffered a cardiac tamponade. That means fluids have collected around her heart, so it can't function properly.
I thought I could kill her.
Monica's performing surgery right now to relieve that pressure.
But if it's too late, if he
Karen,
beat her badly
come on.
enough
Don't
where he...
think like that.
Jason's right. We're going to do everything possible to pull her through this. I'll let you know the minute they're out of surgery.
This never ends. I thought I was doing the right thing. I told the truth. And look what happens. My mother could die.
Your mother is gonna be fine. You gotta believe that.
You're not in very good shape yourself. Have you taken anything for that pain?
No, it's okay. Just give me the straight dope about Rhonda.
Well, it's touch and go in there. Sean, I'm afraid you could be looking at murder.
I got that bleeder over here, Phil.
How does it look?
Well, it looks like it should look. How's the pressure?
80 over 40.
Sponge.
It's not good. Her saturation is only 88%.
I don't understand this. I mean, I opened the pericardium. Fluid's gone. Why isn't her pressure responding?
I have dope.
Not here.
Dopamine standing by.
Maybe it'll take a minute.
I don't have a minute, Bobby. There's got to be something else. I'm gonna turn the heart. Okay. Maybe just some kind of rupture that I haven't seen. Oh my God! Look at that thing.
What is it?
She's got an ascending aortic aneurysm.
Well, no wonder she didn't respond.
I never would have seen it if I hadn't been looking. Let's get a bypass pump and tech in here, Stat. Get me a graft. I've got to do a resection right away. Look at that. Over here, Phil.
Rhonda is one lucky woman.
How's that?
Saved her life for the second time tonight.
Well, let's hope twice is all she needs. Clamp.
Hi. Can I come in?
It depends.
Look, I didn't come to argue. I came to apologize. I'm sorry for some of the things I said. I didn't know the whole story. Now I do.
The whole story?
About Karen. I was downstairs this afternoon, and her mother came storming in looking for that Ray character, and, Jagger. She wanted to kill him for what he'd done to Karen. Suddenly everything made sense, and I knew what you couldn't tell me. He molested Karen when she was a little girl, didn't he? Living with that this whole time. I mean, no wonder she was acting so weird. She didn't tell anyone about this?
Not until a few weeks ago.
That's when she told you, and that's why you were helping her.
Oh, Brenda, she was in deep trouble, okay? Somebody had to help her out.
Oh, and that someone had to be you. I'm sorry. I'm not accusing you. I understand.
Do you?
Yes.
Let's just let it go, okay? All right.
Thanks. Is Karen gonna be okay?
Well, I should kiss Ray to his face, and That took a lot of guts, and she was going to talk to her mother. That's going to take even more guts. I say she's on the right track.
Well, now that things are out in the open, it should be easy on her, don't you think?
Well, I guess if you like starting your life over again from square one, you know.
Are you going to help her with that, too?
Why?
Because I'd like to know where things stand between you and Karen, and why you're thinking about it. Maybe you can tell me where things stand between you and me.
Make you sleep?
Yes. I'm dreaming you said yes, you'd marry me.
Well, it's not a dream. May I ask you a question?
Anything.
When I said no the first time, did you really intend to walk away and forget all about me?
Walk away? Yeah. Forget about you? Never. I loved you too much for that. But I knew I'd have to get over you. And in my mind, it was over. It was the hardest decision I ever had to make, Felicia. But I would have done it.
And I would have had to put in for a brain transplant. Do you realize how close we came to losing each other?
I do. Hey, I kind of like the sound of that. I do. Try it.
I do. I like it too.
Good. Keep that thought all the way to the altar.
You know, there are times where I actually do enjoy agreeing with you. Hurry.
What?
Are you hungry? Let me go get some.
Could I be truly happy living in one place? All right. Under the right circumstances, I think I might. You know, the right atmosphere, the right people, given what we know now that we didn't know before.
Talk about equivocation.
Well, Laura, it's a very loaded question.
It's an important question.
Sweetheart, the last couple of years in Canada felt like a nice, long vacation.
And now we're back to the real world?
We both knew that that life would end sooner or later.
Yes, I guess I did. I guess I just got really good at pretending that it wouldn't.
But you didn't get too good at it, thank God. As much as you hated to leave, you were ready. I mean, look at this bag. I know I've given you a lot of grief about it, but what would we have done with without all this stuff? You hated to leave, but Laura, you were ready. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here tonight, telling the tale.
I know that. But I can't help getting attached in a way that you don't. Luke, if this running and hiding is ever over, I would dearly love to settle down and make a life for Lucky that's lasting and give him some roots.
I know.
I feel like he's been a tourist his whole life. You know, what are his memories going to be like? A snapshot here, a snapshot there. You know, there's no continuity, no sense of belonging. I think that's important.
I know that you want that life for Lucky. I know that you think it's important for him. And maybe it is, but he's no baby. Laura, he's strong. He's good. He learns fast. He thinks on his feet.
But is it fair to him?
Fair? I don't know. It's all a trade-off. How many kids his age do you know who have been halfway around the world and can run a shell game in 15 currencies simultaneously? Now, those experiences have to count for something.
They do. They do. I'm sure they do.
One thing that he's never missed. One thing I'm sure he's always had is love. Whether we're in Istanbul or Saskatchewan, he's had family.
No. He hasn't had family. He just has us.
He's never doubted that he was loved or wanted.
I know. But can that replace everything else?
Nobody gets it all, Laura. See any answers out there?
Just the dark.
You know, some people claim that the unknown is the scariest thing there is.
And other people are drawn to it.
I'll tell you something I'm not drawn to. Living in fear. Laura, I know that's what I've asked you to do for the past 10 years. Please believe me. This is not the life I wanted for you. Or for Lucky. But you gotta understand. I can't even think about the life that you want for us until I finish with Frank Smith. That's the mess that I made that won't go away. Please don't give up. Please. I know what you need. I promise. I promise.
I won't give up.
Dad, can't we do something?
Yes, I can. I'll go in there and scrub. I'll get a first-hand report. I'll come
Would
right...
you?
Yes, I promise. I'll come out in a couple of minutes, okay?
Karen, come on over here, sit down. Come on. Now that it's just you and me, there's something I need to tell you. I'm pretty sure I know what this is all about. I was in Kelly's when your mom came in looking for Ray. She was pretty upset and said some things about him and about you. And I kind of put it together. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's gonna all come out anyway. It's just that everything is going wrong. I don't know. I don't know what's right anymore. I thought I did the right thing.
I think you did too.
Then how come my mother is in there, cut open on an operating table? Why?
You were dealing with a real sicko. You can't predict what people like that are gonna do.
Yeah, you got that right. I tried to put him away, but instead I sent him right over to beat the hell out of my mother.
It is not your fault.
I know. No, I don't know. Not at all. Part of me feels very responsible for this whole horrible mess.
Well, just tell that part to get a grip.
What if my mother dies?
Your mother's not gonna die.
How do you know that? How do you know, Jason?
Because my mother won't let her. They're both strong. They can do this. They can do this together. It's just you I'm worried about. Karen, you need someone to help you. Someone who knows how people work through these things.
I know. I'm professional.
Have you talked to anyone? I understand that it's going to be expensive, but you're going to have to do this.
Yes. I'll find a way.
The hospital will continue in a moment. Brenda, you deserve some kind of answer, and I honestly don't know where anything stands right now.
Maybe I can help you with this. Do you love Karen? Because if you don't...
I didn't say that.
So you do love her?
It's complicated. It's not that easy.
Where do we fit into the big picture?
Why don't you tell me?
Do you mean that?
Sure. You tell me.
Okay. I think what we have is good. I think it's really good. I think it's good enough not to throw away. You with me?
Yeah.
And I think that you need to get out of the habit of running to Karen's rescue all the time. It's the healthiest thing for you and for her.
I figure you might agree with that.
Objectively speaking...
Brenda, I have no idea what's going to happen. I can't predict the future. Seriously.
You need to stop being so serious all the time, and you need to have a little fun. Now, wait a minute. Actually, you need to have a lot of fun. And fun's my middle name. Remember?
Is that so?
That's right. Brenda Fun Barrett.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Jagger. Come on. Who makes you laugh the way I do? Who?
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody.
Who makes love to you the way I do? Jagger, I'm not sure if the sun is gonna rise tomorrow. All I know is I'm here with you right now. Nothing ever felt so right.
It's a wonder to me she was still alive when they brought her into the hospital.
Will she make it?
I don't know, it's hard to say. But frankly, when I left there, it didn't look good, not good at all.
You suffer for every one of your patients, don't you?
Audrey, my mind kept flashing back to the day you were lying there in that emergency room after Ryan Chamberlain almost beat you to death. I wasn't sure I should even tell you about Rhonda for fear we'd dig up those bad memories again.
Steve, listen to me and hear this. I want you to stop wasting energy worrying about me.
Oh, how can I?
Because ever since I was able to face Ryan at that sentencing, that was a huge milestone for me. I got through that, and I knew the worst was over. I'd come through it, and that horrible man could never touch me again.
Oh, sweetheart.
Darling, it's over. It is really, finally over. And I have my own life again. And I thank God for giving me you to see me through it. Oh.
Some enchanted evening, doom-do-doom-do-do-do, a fine evening, a fine affair, a fine wine, suitable for the fine, fine days of the Quartermains. Wouldn't you agree? Of course you'd agree. Here we are, on the pinnacle, surveying our world. And by God, it is good. Just imagine, Alan finally managing to accomplish something. Who would have expected? And yet, there he was, receiving tangible public recognition for a job well done. Now, not as impressive, you say, as pulling off a leveraged buyout, but in his own limited way, very satisfying indeed. He is our son, after all, and one takes pride where one can. So, would you join me in a toast?
I don't think so, dear. Thank you.
I beg your pardon?
Have you read this?
What is this?
2 proposals submitted to the company by Ned's friend Damien.
Oh, good Lord. Woman, has he got you reading that tripe?
Have you read it?
Enough to know that it's rubbish.
Actually, it is indeed all about rubbish and what to do with it.
Oh, I know. You convert the plastic into boards and you burn the toxic waste. It's hooey, let alone unfeasible.
I'm sorry you feel that way, dear. In my humble opinion, these proposals deserve another look. I happen to think they could be very profitable for ELQ.
Well.
Dad?
Yeah?
I can't go to sleep.
I can't either. Come on in.
You sure?
Well, I just asked you, didn't I? I was blaming it on Claire's lamb stew. What about you?
The same, maybe.
Where'd you get those PJs? Out of the rag bag or what?
Claire keeps on trying to put them in the rag bag, but I won't let her. They're my favorites.
Stability in a changing world, huh?
Yeah, I like them.
I had a sweatshirt. That's about your age, I guess. Standard issue, gray. It had belonged to my father. It got all shrunk up in the wash, so it ended up in my drawer. I wore that thing until it was more holes than shirt.
Could I ask you something?
Sure.
When you and Mom, well, I guess you, when you had me, did you want me?
Yes. When you were born, I wanted you.
What about now?
Always.
Do you love me?
Yeah. You're not so sure of that? Don't doubt it. One of the things I love most about you is that you're brave enough to ask that. And one of the things that I'm sorriest about is that you think you need to ask it. Come here. How do you think people learn how to be parents?
Well, don't you just know?
No. The first way you learn is how your parents treated you. That's one way you learn. That's the first way. And if they had any idea what the hell they were doing, then you probably have some pretty good stuff to draw from. Some instinctive stuff. And then another way that you learn is you try to give your kids what your parents didn't give you. And then another way that you learn is if you live long enough, you try to pass on whatever it is you've found out about life. Are you with me?
I think so.
In my house, we learned about hard work and independence. And that was good. But there were some bad things that went on. Some things that nobody would admit to. And if you wouldn't admit them, you couldn't change them. And that made me mad. Still does. So, I always try to call it as I see it. And the truth is not always pleasant, or convenient, or comforting. But it's real.
Sometimes I think stuff that's so real to you isn't real to anyone else.
Well, you're not the first one to make that observation. One truth I know, one thing I'm sure of, is that it can't be that easy to be my kid. You're learning to be your own man, Bean. The lessons are hard. But you're learning them well. Yes. I love you. Always and forever.
Could I stay in here a little bit longer?
Sure. Climbing.
Lila, dear, may I respectfully remind you that this is not pick-a-lila or coke-a-lila. These numbers come from sources that we don't know, and therefore cannot trust. Anything can be manipulated to look profitable on paper. The proof is in the pudding.
How true. But the pudding can't be tasted until it's mixed. And just because you're looking at a new recipe doesn't mean that it won't eventually end up on the table at Christmas dinner.
What in the world are you talking about?
Your stubbornness, dear. I believe these are two very well thought out proposals and deserve serious consideration.
Oh, Lila, if I read every unsolicited harebrained scheme submitted to me by some outsider, I'd never leave my desk.
Well, then aren't you lucky that I've read this for you and saved you the trouble?
Oh, for heaven's sake, all right, I'll read it.
When?
when I get around to it.
I want you to read it tomorrow.
If there's time after golf.
Edward Quartermain, if you want to drink that champagne before it goes flat and get into this bed with me, you will make a solemn vow to read these first thing in the morning.
All right, fine.
Repeat your promise, please, and this time with sincerity.
I promise to read these things first thing in the morning.
That was much better. Now come here and kiss me.
Oh, Lila Quartermain, you drive me to distraction. You always do this to me.
May I have the next dance?
Steve Hardy, what are you doing?
You know something? You were the prettiest girl on the dance floor tonight.
I was the prettiest what?
Girl.
Don't you know that it is politically incorrect to call anyone a girl who isn't between the ages of 6 and 12?
How about Babe?
Oh, dear, that's worse.
I doubt that. In that room full of politically correct people tonight, I distinctly heard someone ask Jack Bullen, who's that gorgeous-looking babe dancing with Steve Hardy?
Oh, indeed.
It made my night.
Oh, my darling. The only politically correct babe I know is Babe Ruth. But the sentiment is appreciated.
How about tomato?
Tomato?
Yeah, tomato. Come on.
I give up. That is so dated, it couldn't possibly be politically incorrect.
So I can get away with that one?
You're impossible.
Impossible, am I?
Uh-huh.
Tonight, I'm very, very possible, believe me.
Ah, the joys of missing dinner.
No, not the dinner.
That's what you think. You're the main course.
I think the four of us are going to make a great family.
Can't miss. I mean, Robin already considers you her best female friend.
And Maxie adores you.
What's not to adore? So I guess I don't see any problems.
Except for one tiny little thing.
Don't go popping my balloon now.
Oh, I won't. Both of the girls just adore you. But how would you feel about having a tiny little friend walking around calling you Daddy? Did I just feel a shiver go through your body?
I'll admit that the thought of that would have sent me running not too long ago.
And now?
I see things a little differently now. Here I am, the last Scorpio, able to pass on the name. And since you've said that you're willing to stick with me permanently, yes, I would very much like to have a child of my own.
I'd like to give you one.
That's good, because you're the only person I'd like to have one with.
When do you want to start having this new family?
No time like the present.
Or we could wait till after the wedding.
I'll never sleep again.
Yes, you will. You have to. Think about tomorrow and everything you have to do.
Oh, please, I'm wired enough already, for God's sake. I'm exhausted. I ache everywhere. I can't relax without help.
Maybe you need a little TLC.
Oh, could we?
Well, you do need to sleep.
Uh-huh.
So I guess. Whatever it takes.
Hey, how about some air?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you could use a break.
No, thanks, I'm fine.
Dad, I'm gonna take Karen downstairs for a few minutes.
That's a good idea.
I can't. I might not be here.
Just go out on the front steps, and I'll come and get you if there's any news, okay?
Come on. Come on.
For God's sake, tell me.
Tomorrow, learn how to be safe in America. It's so important Primetime devotes an hour on how to protect yourself from crime. Don't miss Primetime Live tomorrow.